welcome to another edition of Armytage Money Talks. I'm Emma, Head of Digital Marketing, and today I'm joined with Lee and Brad, and we're just going to wrap up the year that was 2021 and our outlook for 2022.
Yeah, so wrapping up 2021, starting domestically, we had over 275 capital raises or new IPOs coming through the pipes, so very busy year for capital markets, and we still see a pipeline going into 2022, but perhaps at a much more muted rate. It's one of the largest, probably the largest year in M&A that we've ever seen. 2 transactions over $25 billion being Afterpay and Sydney airports. I think while prices of funds are still attractive, M&A to continue into 2022 as well. It's been a bit of a year of the battery metals and electric vehicles and renewable energy sources. We still think that continues as well. Almost really a year of legitimization of the crypto sector as well. So some major increases in your Bitcoins and Ethereums and the like as well. So we're going to get a lot more volatility through that. Looking at some of the largest stimulus packages we've ever seen, and Lee's going to give some forward guidance on some things that we can see forward. And yeah, looking forward to a festive Christmas.
And what a marvellous leading. So going forward, look, there are three major topics coming into 2022. Interest rates, and who would have thought, ladies and gentlemen, front page of the Australian, there's a little plug for you, Rupert. We anticipate interest rates rising well into 2022. Mr. Lowe's even finally agreed that that's going to happen. The US is likely and has stated that they will be raising their cash rates a minimum 3 times, from 25 basis points to 75. And we can see this is going to continue worldwide. Locally, CBA and Westpac have already lifted their fixed home lending rates, and this is also going to continue well into 2022, potentially dampening the enthusiasm that exists in the property market, particularly the residential space. So that'll certainly impact into that. The next one is inflation. Well, it's up and away like Superman. US is now over 4%. Australia is now well over 2.5%, which sits in the band of 2 to 3%. It's now getting closer to that 3% band that Mr. Lowe keeps talking about. We anticipate that will probably nudge closer to 3, and hence why he started to change his tune, interest rates rising here. Euroland is now well over 2.5%, and Britain is now well over 3.5% and rising. The next major feature for next year is going to be wages. We're talking about it. Wages are also up and away like Superman. He's a busy boy there, Superman. Driven by inflationary pressure. Wages growth was only 2% in 2021, and it's anticipated it'll be about 3% in 2022. We had a smashing month in November. History. 366,000 jobs, ring it in king, were created in November, largest in history. Unemployment now down to 4.6. Might be a nice little segue as to what we're going to see in the budget coming up in an election year. I think there's going to be a little bit of spending coming, maybe even a donation to an EV car, who knows. GDP growth 3.5% for next year, up from 2.25 in 2022. But an interesting thing, and I actually read this out, wage growth here, that's Australia, was persistently low because of wage setting process. Now, we don't tend to have these issues overseas. This is our award system, but this is an interesting one, and a strong cost control mindset among business. We don't see that changing. So if you think there's going to be a big blowout in wages, don't think that we're going to see that into 2022. Our outlook, we see that 2022 is going to be a stock pickers market, and I'm going to use a word that hasn't been used for a long time. We're going to go back into the dear old days, contrarian investing. You wouldn't even know what that is, would you, your age? Contrarian investing is buying something that isn't fashionable, a bit like my wardrobe. Anyway, some of the value stocks that we see moving next year, Mr. Ring It In King, is Wesi Pharma, Transurban, Treasury, Endeavour, and even a boring thing like Amcor.
Yeah, a couple of other themes that we're looking forward, more on the thematic side of things. Still think battery minerals and metals and alternative power sources will be something of focus. We still like the food sector. There's plenty of opportunities there. and also for supply chain diversification. We think that's going to be a major theme into 2022.
And go Cats.
Indeed.
See you in 2022.